researchers who are looking for an online platform to share their work actually have a lot of options right now. And so in this video, what I want to do is talk about those options, what their various strengths and weaknesses are, and actually how they work together to provide access to the work to readers that are interested in finding it. So first I want to talk about Scholarship at UWindsor, which is the institutional repository of the University of Windsor. So we provide open access to preservation and showcasing for research at our university. So that includes published journal articles, unique Windsor publications, theses, dissertations, and a wide range of academic content. And we're not alone in doing this. There are institutions around North America and the world, in fact most institutions at this point, who are working to collect and showcase and provide open access to the research at their institutions. So what's great about this is that it provides a network of open access research that everyone can benefit from. Now, the drawback to this might seem like, okay, isn't this content stuck in these institutional platforms or silos? Well, that's actually not the case, and I hope to sort of explain why that is as this goes on. So first, there's a service called OpenDoor, which is the directory of open access repositories, and OpenDoor is an authoritative listing of repositories around the world. And it also provides a little bit of cross-platform searching, so it's easy to see what other institutions are doing and sort of look at their content. On the other side of the coin, there are commercial services that you may be familiar with, such as academia.edu and ResearchGate. And don't let the edu fool you, it is a commercial product. And of course, the benefit of these platforms is that they're good means of sharing and communicating about the work you're doing. They're cross-institutional, so people from a lot of different universities use them. And they are good platforms to use to communicate about your work, and I encourage people to use them. Now, the drawback, of course, is that as commercial products, there's not a clear long-term commitment to preservation and access to this work. Second, it's also not actually open access, strictly speaking, because users have to be willing and able to create an account on these sites in order to be able to access the content. So there is still a barrier there to accessing the research. It's not quite openly available. So while these are good platforms for sharing and communicating about your work, they're not necessarily a good long-term solution to providing open access and preservation for research. The important thing to keep in mind from a user's perspective, someone who's out there trying to search for information, is that the most highly used platforms for finding content are things like Google Scholar, which is far and away the biggest, and then also institutional level services like Primo and Summon that are provided by your library for finding academic content. And the thing to remember is that all these institutional efforts that we're developing around the world are actually being collected together and indexed by Google Scholar. And the process is really seamless from a user's perspective. So Google Scholar and these other search engines can collect all this content from various places and bring it together in a highly visible search engine. And from a user's perspective, they're just clicking on PDF download buttons and saying, oh, here's a free PDF that I can get. That's great. This is exactly what I want. So unless there's, for example, a cover page on that PDF that says, oh, this article is from the University of Windsor's repository, for example, from the end user's perspective, it's just a seamless transition to their normal research process. So that's why the content doesn't end up being siloed, is because it's built with indexing in mind. It's intended to be harvested by these larger aggregating search engines that everyone uses to make it easy to find this content. So at the end of the day, the person who's out there looking for epigenetic variation can find it, and they can find lots of open access resources from around the world from these various institutional collections that have been built to showcase and provide open access to their institution's research. On top of this, there's also disciplinary repositories. So similar to institutional and commercial collections, they are platforms for disseminating research again, but they're based on disciplinary categories. So for example, the Archive is a long-standing one in physics. There's also the Social Science Research Network, Phil Papers for philosophy, and a wide range of other disciplinary connections as well. And there's an option in many cases for institutional repositories like ours to actually work together with those disciplinary repositories. so that the work in our repositories can be indexed and picked up by those disciplinary connections as well. So it's not an all or nothing approach, and these different platforms are all going to provide a great way of showcasing and providing access to your work and communicating about it. But both institutional, disciplinary, and commercial products like academia.edu and ResearchGate can all be leveraged to make sure that readers are finding the work that you're producing.